All right. Hey, everybody. Hope y'all are having a great day. It is the morning after show. Before we get started, I'm head to toe W. So before y'all start thinking anything about this Aces t-shirt, you got to see the bottom because I'm representing both teams today. I got the Aces t-shirt on, but I also got I got my New York Liberty. I got my New York Liberty shorts on. Come on now. Congratulations to the Aces. Congratulations to the New York Liberty on advancing to the 2023 WNBA Finals. My brother called me and was like, hey, can we get some tickets to the Aces? I'm like, you can get some tickets to the Aces. But I did actually buy some tickets for a later game. So hopefully my calendar will work out that I can go to either New York or I can go to Las Vegas to catch one of these games. But I hope y'all enjoyed that game. It was both exciting, right? And a little heartbreaking for me. It was a little heartbreaking. What's that? A little heartbreaking for Connecticut to lose that way. But let's start off with the good. I think we got two teams that, even though the fan bases are divided, the fan bases are extremely passionate and believe that their team is going to win. This is the way the finals should be, right? It feels like New York and Houston from the days when I played in the WNBA and called the game for ESPN and Lifetime and all those guys. It felt like this every year. It was just like you didn't know who was going to win. And as I said, even though the Aces fans believe that they're going to win and the New York Liberty fans believe that they're going to win, I really hope that it is one of those record-breaking championship runs that we're all on the edge of our seats, and as we were yesterday with the Connecticut Sun and New York Liberty game. So I try to break down things. You know, this is opinions welcome, disrespect never welcome, but opinions, very strong opinions, definitely is the way I feel it should be. So I'm always going to give you my analyst play-by-play hat when I talk about these games. And then, you know, when it's appropriate, I'm going to tell you what I think. But for the most part, looking at yesterday's game, I thought that both teams competed extremely, extremely hard. And even though there's a lot of commentary online about officials, if you'll notice, I don't talk a whole lot about officials because games rarely come down to officiating. Y'all can be mad all you want. You can disagree because, again, opinions appreciated and welcomed here. Let me hear your opinions. Disrespect, never. I'm never going to disrespect you. I'm never going to accept any disrespect in my direction. But I think it's healthy for us to have thoughts about what's happening in the game that we're so passionate about. So I don't personally, even though we know that officials can dictate whether a team wins or loses, right? The calls they make can certainly lean it into one direction or away from another direction. But I say that and then I quickly follow up with this. Even when you have played in a game or competition where the officiating has been terrible, and believe me, I have played in hundreds of games, thousands of games, where the officiating has been questionable, but there was always a moment in that game when the official was non-existent and my team, you know, or your team didn't do what they needed to do to overcome the officiating. So I say all that to say, yes, the officiating can be questionable. The officiating can be downright bad sometimes. But your team, whoever it is, still has those moments during the game where they can overcome bad, horrendous, hideous, terrible officiating. And yesterday was no exception. Point in case, New York Liberty down 3. Who is it? Connecticut Sun down 3. I'm thinking, as many of you were, there's some play that they're about to run to get a 3 shot, you know, a 3-pointer. Come on, you were thinking that, right? You were thinking, I'm on my sofa, and they're dribbling, and it's looking good so far because they're advancing the ball. Boom, one pass. And then Tiffany Hayes puts the ball on the floor, and it was over. One of the things I always did when I coached, whether it was my 7-year-olds all the way to my guys overseas in Switzerland when I coached a pro-am team, is prepare them not only for the play they're about to make. So if we took a timeout, we would prepare them for the play that they're about to go out on the court to do, but also for the next play, right? So I don't know if Tiffany Hayes didn't remember or if Stephanie White didn't prepare for that. I don't know. I wasn't at the game and I didn't see that happening. But there's no way, if I'm on the floor with my teammates, we aren't all clear about what needs to happen in this 6 or 7 seconds. The times that we have not been clear, it's been tragic, just like we saw yesterday. For me, that was a tragic ending to a great game. That was absolutely heartbreaking for me to watch that. But it was also avoidable. It was absolutely avoidable. So I don't know if it was the team that messed up or the coach that messed up or they both messed up. I don't know what it was. But the directive was not clear because there's no way you're going to make me believe that Tiffany Hayes is going to put the ball on the floor if she remembered, and it is a moment thing, that they needed a 3 to tie that game. So to me, that was really tragic. What did you think about the end of the game? What did you think about how that play, the play before that, the AT and the Jonquel Jones tie-up, all of those things? There were like 6 or 7 instances where the game could have shifted in either direction. But I'm very curious as to what you guys thought as maybe what was a defining moment in the game before the last play, before the play where Tiffany Hayes put the ball on the floor and then they had no chance to tie the game up at that point. So what were your thoughts on that? And then I will also say, just kind of going forward in the game, it's always a game of intelligence. Who's going to play the smartest at the right time? When the game is going on, and I've been on a lot of these games, called a lot of these games where the mistake and the margin for error is very small, pardon me, and it gets smaller as the game gets closer to the end, where you just can't make the mistakes that you're making. But I will say this, and I've said this in one of my earlier videos. When a coach calls a play, there's what they call, and then there's what the team does when they get together on the court. There's like 5 seconds or so when they get together. And that time is literally for them to recalibrate. Okay, this is what you're going to do. This is what reiterate maybe what coach said, and then recalibrate because you're the one who has to execute that play on the floor. So, enough of that game. Let's talk about moving forward. What happens in game 1 of the finals between the Aces and the New York Liberty? What we saw in the game the other night, Dallas versus the Aces, we saw a human A'ja Wilson. Up until that point, A'ja Wilson had been playing at a superhuman level. Didn't matter what people did, she succeeded. She excelled. Dallas adjusted. I want to give LT, the coach Dallas, some props. They adjusted. They made it harder for her. They looked at what they'd done the 5 times they played them and said, we got to do something different. So they put 6'5"? Natasha Howard. Smooth play right there. Make it difficult. Make it difficult for A'ja to take her shots. Make A'ja think. Give A'ja somebody more physical, more experience in the league against premier players. That was a cold move. That was a great move by Dallas. We saw the A'ja human. I was questioning whether she was playing so good. Right? Nice move. So New York Liberty probably going to take a page out of that. Not sure they have anybody like Natasha Howard who can do that with A'ja, but at least they know that A'ja has the propensity to play at a level below what we've seen her play all season. So key matchup is going to be whoever matches up with A'ja. I keep saying the key matchup is who matches up with Chelsea Gray because I believe she is the key. And nobody's focusing on Chelsea Gray. They're focusing on A'ja Wilson. I believe if you get Chelsea Gray, if you make things harder for Chelsea Gray, you make things harder for the Las Vegas Aces. So maybe while you're throwing all these people at A'ja, maybe you might want to take a look at how strategic you're being at who's defending Chelsea Gray. If Chelsea Gray gets to bring the ball all the way down the court, she's already a bigger guard, as I talked about in my previous video. She's looking over defenders. She's doing what she does. She's making, she's dropping dimes because everybody who's guarding her comes to her chest. I don't know how effective that is going to be defensively against Chelsea Gray. And I also believe you have to take Chelsea Gray out of her playmaking bag, right? So make it more difficult for her to do what she does. So again, you've got to decide, are we going to let Chelsea Gray shoot? Or are we going to let Chelsea Gray have all the space she wants so she's doing these no looks all night long on us? They're not focusing enough on Chelsea Gray, and that is to their peril. No team in this league has really focused on, okay, let's make it harder for Chelsea. And if you take that approach, Vegas is definitely going to win. So you might want to rethink who you're focusing on. A'ja Wilson, Chelsea Gray. I think you go for Chelsea Gray, and I think you see a different ball game. All right, if you're the Aces and you are trying to figure out what to do with the New York Liberty, I don't know why people aren't giving Betnijah Laney her flowers. I don't know. I saw the graphic after the win over Connecticut. It's Sabrina Ionescu, Jonquel Jones, and Breanna Stewart. And I'm like, nah. But they're good. But you're missing a huge opportunity to elevate someone who's really making this work for the Liberty. Now, clearly, I'm watching Betnijah play. She's not into that. She doesn't care. She wants to win. She's a team first player. That's very obvious. You can't fake that. But in preparation for New York, if you sleep on Betnijah, you also do so at your peril. I think Becky Hammon recognizes the value that Laney brings. So I wouldn't be surprised if she actually did some things that kind of to neutralize what's able to happen when Betnijah's in the game. I also believe that you can't sleep on some of the other players for the Liberty who haven't necessarily been playing great lately. I think that's going to be the key. And I think the officials, I hate to bring them up, but I think they have to get a handle on the play down low underneath the basket. I mean, I don't want to see this finals matchup without the marquee players. So I don't want people to be hurt. I don't want people to get hurt. I don't want people, having to leave the game. So they're going to get a handle on that for sure. And then the last thing I will say is, not only are the teams on display, we're noticing more and more that the coaches are on display. So we got two of the finest in our game, Sandy Brondello for the New York Liberty and Becky Hammon for the Las Vegas Aces. We got two of the finest coaches, the best coaches in our game on display. And I'm excited to see their marksmanship, if you will, to see how many chess moves they're going to be making to make this work for their team, because it's going to come down to it. I believe that. I believe this will not be a runaway series. But we'll see. All right, I'll be back, if not today, probably tomorrow, to talk a little bit more specifically about matchups. But what a game. Hope y'all all saw it. And if you didn't see it, definitely take a look at the replay. If you like this video, you want to see more of this kind of stuff, you want to engage in some other ways, put it in the comments. I mean, what is it that you are interested in talking about? Again, I will always say opinions welcome. Diverging opinions are welcome. Disrespect is never welcome. But let's talk about it, and let's keep supporting this game. We'll see you next time.